Welcome back, everybody, to A&M Reviews. It's Muhammad and Adrian, and we're here to review Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League. But essentially, this movie is about this impending doom from Darkseid. He's coming down, and Batman is now trying to get everybody together to create a team so he can fight against this big threat coming. But what did you get from Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Yeah, so 4 hours packed to the brim of content. Not gonna lie, I fell asleep halfway through and to start over. It was,
Torture.
It was a lot. But you know what? I think this was definitely a better film than the first one. I still have issues with the idea of it all, but I think the way it was put together, the story, the way it was told, and with the added pieces, it made a world of difference in watchability, in storytelling, and overall purpose. So I see why the Snyder Cut was good. I pushed back a little bit on the fact people were like, the Snyder Cut's amazing from like day one. Some of these things were like filmed not long ago. Like this is way after. But even with the first one, and the problem still exists for me, the thing that I don't like about this film is they do a lot of world building cheaply. And by that, I mean, they skip over all the things that would make this even more of a big deal, right? I mean, the fact that Superman is dead in the beginning of this film. I mean, do I care?
Wait, I didn't even get my point in. You just going all into spoilers and everything.
That's where I'm at.
Go ahead.
I know, but the whole premise of the entire film, the reason that it exists, I disagree with. I feel like they skipped several iterations of several films before they should have got here.
That's definitely true. They tried to put together their own Marvel universe for the DC universe all into a couple of films.
Right.
And it's pretty much failed. Pretty much it's just the fan base keeping this thing alive. If it wasn't for that, this would have died long ago.
No.
But I would say, yes, this is a better film. I can say I was wrong. I didn't think it was going to be any better, but it is. The main reason why it is better is because it gives you more detail and story than the other one did.
Right.
The other one was really bad. That is the worst DC film that I've seen. The worst. This is a better film, but it's just way too long. This took me 2 days to watch. I fell asleep twice. Twice. And yeah, it's a better film, but is it worth watching? I don't know.
If you're into comic books, I would say go for it. But this is not just to watch. This ain't for you.
No. This is not for a new fan who's just looking to watch some superhero movie. No. I would not watch this. This thing is 4 hours. I mean, Avengers Endgame is a long movie. That's 3 hours. Yeah. I don't go back and watch that. I don't watch the whole thing. I watch basically maybe the last 30, 45 minutes. No, I would not want to watch this again, Justice League. But it is a better film.
Yeah, it's better. You know, the aspect ratio is 4:3. And it's like the old TV box style. I was confused when I was watching. I was like, something wrong with the TV or something? What's going on? But no, they said they did that to preserve, to cut even less from this version of the film, which I think is commendable. I think, it was divided up into parts. I think there were 6 parts, right? I can't remember the titles because they're irrelevant, but I think it definitely could have been a mini-series. You could argue this is a mini-series. I think that would have been fine. It felt like that. Anyway, I never want this to happen again. I never want a film to do this ever again. If it's a bad movie, make a new one, right? We don't need you to go back and we don't need to show your work. That's what this was, right? They turned in an exam and they failed, and they said, "Let me show you the work, though. How I got the answers." And we're like, it's like, fine, I guess we'll extend the due date, but do better the first time. Next time, I'm not with this.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I don't want this to become a trend because DC with their universe, it seems like they're becoming like video games where you don't get all of the video game
Yes.
at release. You have to pay for the season pass and DLC. This is what this movie is. DLC. That extra content that you have to pay for after the game has already been released.
And there's still stuff they don't tell you about. They'll be referencing fights that didn't happen. They're like, yeah, me and Diane are best friends. Since when? Y'all met one time on screen for like 15 minutes. And now y'all like a dynamic duo putting together Justice League? I don't believe you. I don't. Right? You're skipping over too much. And then all of this premonitions and foresight and all this, stop it. It just makes the story very confusing. And then this whole epilogue at the end of it.
Don't get me started.
I mean, I was like, okay, I get what you're doing, but why so soon? Like, you're just throwing up all of your good content all at once, right? You boil it down. I mean, I think they wasted so many years of comic books because, you know, if you just spread out the story, pick some less popular folks, put them in it, you know, then have a Justice League, more of an Avengers style filmmaking, but of course with DC flair, you know, the dark undertones and no jokes and that kind of thing. Make it a DC film, but don't put together decades of comic books in like 3 films.
Thanks for watching, and if you would like to be featured on our podcast, make sure to click the link in the description.